Well, well, look who it is. I was wondering who could be valiant enough to wipe the floor with these guys so easily. Turns out it was the distinguished traveler. Really, I can't thank you enough. Of course I was aware of you long before you arrived in Inazuma. Though the Sakoku decree managed to keep the country locked up, it wasn't able to stop the incredible stories about you. Every day, all of those little stories would come scurrying over to my desk, like files with little feet. I was actually thinking about going to meet you once I wrapped up the business at hand. Who would have guessed that you'd show up first? I got so excited I nearly forgot to introduce myself. The name's Shikanoin Heizou, Special Detective of the Tenryou Commission. It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler. I wish you all the best on your journey through Teyvat, by the way. I guess that means I've taken over as the main character in your story today. I've always heard that you take commissions from all kinds of people, helping everyone out with everything you can imagine. So now it's my turn to take your help, huh? Don't mind if I do. That was already obvious to me. It's no coincidence that you've arrived here, because that would be the stuff of an epic novel. The two protagonists of the story both travel to Watatsumi Island by chance and cross paths as if by fate. The traveler from afar heroically rescues the weak and defenseless detective from the clutches of the ruthless Nobushi. Traveler, you are so dreamy. Unfortunately, though, I don't believe in coincidences. So, guessing you came to me on the police station's commission, didn't you? I'm a detective. Can you guess what gave it away? Sounds like you already have some ideas about the work of a detective. Let me ask you this. What's that your little sidekick is holding? If I'm not mistaken, it's a commission letter from the police station.
What? Paimon's just here to take a look. And hey, who are you calling a little sidekick? Paimon was worried she might be in danger, so Paimon came to help. Why are you two staring at Paimon? Is Paimon not supposed to be here?
Yeah, I'm also just taking a look.
She can look, but you can't.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. After all, this is the first time I've seen a voice. I must admit, I'm most intrigued.
Huh? Voice? What are you talking about?
A vision is an external magical focus, right? Well, similarly, a voice is an external voice box. I've heard that the Traveler isn't very talkative, but given how chatty you are, you must be her voice, right?
That sounds awful! Paimon's not somebody's voice! Paimon's emergency food! Wait! Paimon's so upset she can't think straight! Paimon is Paimon! How dare you give Paimon such a terrible nickname?
Captain, I see you found the detective.
Watatsumi Island sure is a beautiful place. I don't think I could ever leave.
You can stay as long as you like, granted you don't cause any trouble, that is. Her Excellency has stated that all friendly visitors are welcome. Incidents of stolen goods? Not that I'm aware of. Her Excellency has recently launched several measures to boost the economy, including the development of trade routes and establishing our own caravans. Troops have also been deployed to protect them, so it is only reasonable to assume that the current trade routes are already very safe. Any looting or theft would be practically unthinkable.
That's strange. Then where did the Nobushi get those goods from?
Huh? You mean you found goods of unknown origin?
Yep, and it's all Sango pearls and crystal marrow, so we know it's local.
Could there have really been a theft that hasn't been reported? That shouldn't be the case. Well, perhaps you could go ask Todoroki. He's responsible for the caravans and is usually in the village at night preparing the goods. If something has happened, he should know about it.
Great. Thank you for all the info. Let's go.
Hey, Traveler! It's been a while. I've missed you. Why didn't you inform me that you'd be coming over today?
General Goro.
You're dismissed, Shibata. You may go about your other duties while I catch up with the Traveler.
Yes, General Goro.
I overheard you discussing a case of stolen goods.
That's right! We found a lot of Watatsumi's valuable products in an Ibushi camp!
I see. So you've come to ask if we know of any relevant cases. Well, I'm ashamed to say that, yes, the caravans have been plundered. And not just once, I'm afraid. We had already dispatched additional forces to protect the caravans, yet the crooks still managed to get away with the goods.
And you're concerned that if this kind of news were to get out, it would undermine the confidence of other caravans. So you didn't make it public, and instead kept the news to only a select few.
That's correct. I never expected you to be so concerned about Watatsumi's affairs.
Just a force of habit, really. As a detective, I notice these kinds of things.
Oh, so you two already know each other?
Actually, I've only heard of Detective Heizou from the soldiers' reports.
Darn it. You're right. Now that you mention it, I've been on Watatsumi Island all this time and still haven't properly introduced myself. Man alive. Please It's a pleasure to meet you, General Goro. I'm Shikanoin Heizou of the Tenryo Commission.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I'd like to express my gratitude to you for stepping in and helping recover those goods.
Don't mention it. You never know what you'll find when you're out for a stroll. But if the source of the problem is not addressed, I'm afraid this sort of situation will continue cropping up for you.
Yes, of course. Not only have we reassured the affected caravans, but we also dispatched personnel to investigate the culprits. The reports indicated that the stolen goods were being delivered to a merchant of the International Trade Association named Godot. It all seems pretty unusual. We suspect that there are bigger players behind Godot, and that their target is none other than Watatsumi Island's valuable resources. But unfortunately, it would be difficult for us to investigate further, given that
Rito, the island where the International Trade Association is located, is not part of your territory, yes. They have cleverly picked their base of operations.
I can see you catch on quickly, Detective Heizou.
It's my guess that you're telling us this because you're going to ask us to assist you in finding who's behind all this, right?
You're always thinking one step ahead. Yes, those were exactly my intentions. And of course, we will prepare a generous reward for you. The recent end of the war, trade and commerce have now become an important component of Watatsumi Island's development. Ensuring safety of the trade routes is critical. So, will you please help Watatsumi Island, Detective Heizou?
I'm willing to assist, but it all depends on what she wishes.
Great! With both Detective Heizou and the Traveler on the case, I'm sure it'll be solved in no time. The situation is now in your capable hands. I look forward to hearing your report when you get back.
All right, we'll take care of it. Traveler, let's go discuss where to head from here.
Whoa! Chingshin? Paimon was expecting to find Sango pearls.
So, did you find anything?
Whoa! Look at all the Chingshin! And glaze lilies too! There are also tons of other plants and flowers Paimon doesn't know here.
These are valuable raw ingredients for producing medicine. If these few crates were to be imported from Rito, the price would be jaw-dropping. On top of that, these items seem to lack a tax clearance certificate, meaning that they were most likely smuggled. Yes, very interesting. Now, where did the Nobushi get these goods? How about you? Did you find anything else? Foreign Trade Association? I've never heard of such an organization in Rito. And if it's regarding foreign trade, then smuggling is an even more likely possibility. All right. In which case, I have a rough hypothesis. First,
Huh? Who goes there?
Oh no! We've been spotted!
Huh? Wait, Captain? Oh, so it's you, Captain. You had me worried there. We almost mistook you for bandits. Captain, do you remember us? During the war, I was in the field hospital with Masashi. Teppei brought you to see us and helped find medicine for us.
Hey, come on now. The captain wouldn't forget. I gotta tell you, Captain, we all miss you. We haven't seen you ever since the end of the war. When we heard that you were coming here, we just assumed you were only going to see General Goro and Her Excellency. The guys are all really hoping to see you. We're fine. You don't have to worry about us.
No, you're not fine. Captain, you may not be aware, but Masashi previously fainted on the front lines. The doctor thought that it might be a neurological condition caused by overstimulated emotions. According to the doctor, if it hadn't been for the medication he's been taking, he would have developed dementia. And
You're one to talk. Don't forget why I fainted in the first place. It's because I heard that you got yourself killed by an arrow. I couldn't handle all the emotion. Later, I found out that he'd been shot in the buttocks and it was only a mild injury. I had an emotional breakdown for nothing.
what do you mean for nothing? I got shot not by one, but 2 arrows in a row. The first arrow was to the left cheek, and the second arrow was also to the left.
Masashi! Tokuda! Arrest these people!
Huh? Todoroki, what's wrong?
Who dares to cause trouble at Sangonomiya Shrine? Huh? Wait, it's Captain? What are you doing?
These crooks are trying to pry into the secrets of Watatsumi. We mustn't let them go.
But, no. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. Todoroki, this is the captain of Swordfish 2, one of our own.
It doesn't matter who they are. Remember what General Goro told you? The long-term goal of Watatsumi is to revive its trade and commerce. I don't care if they were your captain. Would you dare disobey orders?
What do we do?
Well, what are you waiting for? All right, I see how it is. If you two won't do it, I will.
I really hoped it wouldn't come to this. But here we go.
Wait! Everyone, stand down!
General Goro! You're here?
My apologies, Traveler, Detective Heizou. I wasn't telling you the truth. Todoroki, the Traveler here is the hero who saved Watatsumi Island. Without her, Watatsumi Island would never have found the peace it has today. We mustn't raise our weapons against her.
How could you be so naive, General Goro? If we let them go free, then who's to say the Shogunate won't come after us tomorrow? If the Shogunate decides to investigate, we won't be able to hide the truth.
I wouldn't allow them to take you, Todoroki.
Let's not kid ourselves. If going to jail could solve the problem, I would go and turn myself into the Tenryou Commission right now. The question is, what are we going to do with the goods? Will you be able to keep them? Not to mention the chance of astronomical fines. Can you afford that? Goro, we both know that Watatsumi Island is a barren land. Plant 100 radishes here and maybe only 3 would grow. And those 3 combined would still be smaller than just 1 carrot imported from elsewhere. You can't grow food or medicinal herbs here, and if we buy them from Rito, we pay exorbitant taxes. My eldest son died fighting on the battlefield. But do you know how my second son died? He died because there was no medicine to treat him. You awarded both of them medals of honor. But did that save their lives? Can medals heal Tokuda and Masashi's wounds? No. It was the medicine that I got that saved their lives. If we detain them today, the Shogunate will never know what we've done. Besides, they're only a few months away now. We will set them free once the new bill is passed in just a few months, and everything will be okay. None of what happened here will be mentioned again, and life on Watatsumi Island will continue to improve.
I understand, Todoroki, but they won't...
Can trust the Traveler won't, but the detective here is a Tenryou Commission officer. Forget it. You're the general. I'm just a radish farmer.
It's a new commodity tax bill currently being drafted by the Kanjo Commission. The bill exempts taxes on goods that are in short supply on Watatsumi Island. Once the bill's introduced, we'll be able to buy commodities that we need from regular marketplaces.
Oh, I see. Man alive. I wish I had known sooner. In that case, how about we put your fears at ease and I'll stick around here a little longer? You know, until the bill is introduced.
Huh?
Detective Heizou, are you saying that...
You mean you're willing to stay here?
Come on, you two. What's with the strange looks? You've been keeping me under close surveillance, haven't you? Surely you must have noticed that aside from being a detective, I'm also an ordinary tourist who likes to enjoy good scenery. I believe that after the new commodity bill is passed, there will be more and more traffic between the two sides, and more people will be coming to visit Watatsumi Island. I have to take the opportunity now and enjoy this place while I still have it all to myself.
Thank you, Detective Heizou. On behalf of the people of Watatsumi.
My pleasure. But one good turn deserves another, does it?
Oh, you mean there's something you wish to request?
I suppose you could say I'm from the Shogunate, but the traveler next to me isn't. As far as I know, she is planning to visit other nations soon, and it is unclear if she will return to Narukami Island or not. Therefore, there's no need to limit her freedom, right? I'm sure no one else will hear of what happened today. Am I right, traveler?
Well, it's settled then. She will always be an important partner to Watatsumi, and I would never dream of limiting her freedom. So please, don't...
I'll hold you to that. But if I ever find out you've lied to me again, there's a chance I'll lose my cool.
I'm sorry for not telling you the truth earlier. It's a serious matter, and I didn't want outside parties to become involved. But today, I realized my poor judgment. How could I possibly hide anything from Detective Heizou and the Traveler?
I'm glad you understand now. But, in all honesty, I'm the one who should be thanking you. It's because of you that I was finally able to reach an answer. After all, nothing makes a detective happier than putting a case to rest.
Ah, I understand now. You really are an interesting person, Detective Heizou.
No, I'm afraid you don't quite get what I mean.
I'm sorry?
Wait! Paimon gets this one! It's the answer to your question, right? The one about the thing you sensed coming from Goro and the others. Now you figured it out!
What? The thing you sensed coming from me? But I always have excellent personal hygiene.
No, not like that!
Hey, traveler, could I talk to you for a moment? Besides,
I apologize again for not being completely honest with you. I truly am sorry, but I had to do it. Ah, yes, Her Excellency. Well, let's just say that the war brought many terrible things while also forcing us to learn a lot.
Right, but that still doesn't answer the question.
Well, aren't you curious about who's been pushing for the new commodity bill? It certainly isn't the Kanjo Commission, because it doesn't immediately benefit them. And we don't have any connections there.
Yeah, it's kinda as if the gods suddenly appeared to offer you a divine hand.
Yeah, the gods. I was invited to attend the Iridori Festival on Narukami Island with Her Excellency a while back. At the festival, I waited in the marketplace while Her Excellency... Yeah. She went to the Kanjo Commission to see Lady Yai, purportedly for a book review, but there were other items on the agenda too. The meeting wasn't made public. Following her return, we began our attempts at boosting commercial activity, and it wasn't long before there was a push for a new commodity bill on Narukami Island. So, what do you make of it? Do you think Her Excellency knows about this?
No time to lose.
Oh, look who showed up. Heizou, you're finally back. Listen, if you took any longer to come back, everyone at the police station would be toast.
You say that every time I come back, Uesugi. However, something does feel a little unusual about the police station this time.
Come on, would I ever lie to you? Madame Kujo-Sara is here, and she's on the warpath, so be on the lookout.
What's that lady doing here?
Doshin Shikanoin, I see you finally returned. Please, enlighten us. What have you been doing recently?
Okay. I was just out investigating a case.
Don't give me that. I checked the records here. You didn't take any cases.
Actually, it's a case of personal relevance to me. These two can attest to that.
Traveler? Paimon, what are you two doing here?
We're the ones who brought Hazel back.
Brought him back? Can someone please explain?
Well, Madame Kujo-Sara, because we couldn't locate Doshin Shikanoin, we commissioned Detective Ryuji from the detective agency. Shortly after, Ryuji returned to tell us, that he had given the commission to the Traveler, and then...
It used to be that the Tenryo Commission assisted others with disappearances, but it seems these days others are now assisting us. You've done it this time, Shikanoin. I think I've really seen it all.
I mean, is it really so unusual for officers and citizens to assist one another?
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but it was definitely an investigation. He even pretended to be captured by Nobushi and treasure hoarders.
Oh? Is that so? Well, since you are testifying for him, I suppose I won't ask any more questions. But since you're here, I have an extra favor to ask. I'd like you to be Shikanoin's temporary supervisor. It'll be your duty to ensure that he handles his case properly. I'll be sure that the police station prepares the appropriate compensation.
Yes, Traveler. I'm sure we'd all really appreciate it.
Hazel seems to be happy with the idea.
You should thank the Traveler this time, Doshin Shikanoin.
Let's see who's complaining about me here.
What? Not him again. Who would give a dog such a strange name? Hazel talks fraud? What's that? Sounds interesting, whatever it is.
Oh, hello there. The Ryuji case. Oh, so you want to reinvestigate that one? That was several years ago now, but I still remember it clearly. It's pretty hard to forget something like that, especially when the victim was the head of this police station. His name was Takatsukasa Isamu, the younger brother of Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan. He was really one of a kind. Decisive, brave, and smart. He was much younger than me, and already had quite a reputation. I'm sure he would have gone far in the Tenryo Commission, if only he was still alive. What a shame. People will believe anything they hear.
Everyone in the police station knew that Ryuji saw Takatsukasa Isamu like a father. Ryuji was an orphan, you know. Before he joined the station, he had been taking odd jobs here and there. It was Isamu who really took him under his wing. Ryuji was simple and not particularly bright, but he was very loyal to those who treated him well. He's also hardworking. Isamu must have seen these qualities in him and decided to keep Ryuji by his side. Ryuji worked with him for years after that, and was even promoted to be his personal assistant. Do you really think Ryuji would do anything to harm him?
So, then why was Ryuji convicted? Even Paimon can tell that's a mistake.
Well, here comes the interesting part of the case. Within a week, and before all the loose ends had even been tied up, Ryuji received his conviction. Moreover, it was signed by Madame Kujo Sara.
What? Why would Sara do something like that?
I'm getting older now, and my eyesight is poor. I can't see too clearly anymore.
Hey, come on, Yoriki Owada, there's nothing to see. It's obvious that the Kujo clan did it.
You can't just go around saying things like that, Wisuki. Those were just hearsay. There was no evidence.
That's not true. Traveler, you may be unaware that the Takatsukasa clan has always been assisting the Kujo clan in the Tenryou Commission. But who doesn't want to be the boss, right? And Takatsukasa Isamu was the key figure for the Takatsukasa clan to bring down the Kujo clan. At that time, no one was held in higher regard than Isamu. So, naturally, the Kujo clan saw him as a potential threat. Kujo Takayuki must have been planning it all along, that rat. Takayuki is able to control the Takatsukasa clan as long as he's in power. But by the time he retires, Isamu would have been at the apex of his political power, while Masahito and Kamaji of the Kujo clan would still have been too... The two of them wouldn't stand a chance against Isamu. You think Kujo Takayuki would simply sit back while Isamu gained traction? So he decided to strike first.
You youngsters and your conspiracy theories.
No, it's true. It's the only way to explain it. Otherwise, why would an impartial person like Madame Kujo Sara sign Ryuji's conviction so quickly? They had to find a scapegoat to pacify the Takatsukasa clan, so Kujo Takayuki must have told her to sign it immediately. I'm not accusing Madame Kujo Sara of anything, mind you. I respect her very much. But maybe she had no other choice.
What do you know? I'm sure Madame Kujo Sara must have had her own reasons. The guy was a forensic expert who worked in the station named Shiroyama. I have to admit, he wasn't easy to track down. That Sango really is something, though. She caught him without even breaking a sweat. It turned out that after poisoning Isamu, Shiroyama secretly took the poison to Ryuji's place in order to frame him. Later on, the poison was also found in the forensic office, but that was already after Shiroyama's death. He confessed everything in a testament.
That's right. He hung himself in the forensic office not long after Sango was on his trail. Probably because he knew it was only a matter of time before he would be caught. Of course, he didn't admit whether he had been prompted by Kujo Takayuki. He took the responsibility alone. I bet Kujo Takayuki
This is a quiet spot. Let's talk here. All right. Here's the secret I've been keeping all along. The torn out pages from the research log of the Office of Forensic Science.
Great! But Paimon can't believe you kept this a secret all this time!
It's not like you think. I wasn't the one who tore out the pages. Look, just read it over first. Finished? Do you see now? The method used by the perpetrator to commit his crime wasn't by putting the white powder in the cold medicine. That's correct. The white powder was Shiroyama's invention. As a forensic doctor, he provided a special cold medicine for Takatsukasa Isamu. The autopsy report showed that this medicine contained a high volume of acidic fruit and vegetable extracts. Then, he tricked Ryuji into sending fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu. When the two substances were taken together, a toxic dose of the substance formed in his body. This is the real modus operandi.
Oh, that's awful! One was medicine, and the other was an expensive nutritional supplement. Both completely harmless.
True, both are harmless on their own, but when combined, poof, that's it. It was not him who wanted to hide it, but the person pulling the strings behind him.
Huh. You mean there was someone else pulling the strings?
Aren't you curious where I found these pages from the research log? It was in Kujo Takayuki's secret warehouse. After I found the missing pages, I did some digging around and found out that Shiroyama had worked for Kujo Takayuki before joining the police station. The Kujo clan secretly provided Shiroyama with funds to study forensic science. I guess you could say that Kujo Takayuki's investment paid dividends in this. Of course, I had only learned all of this after the Vision Hunt decree came to an end. Kujo Takayuki had lost his grip on power, and the Tenryou Commission was undergoing a general reshuffle. To avoid coming under suspicion, Madame Kujo Sara put me in charge of building a case against Kujo Takayuki. I found a huge stash of fish liver paste in his secret warehouse. Nothing hugely incriminating about that, of course, but I still took the trouble to open each and every package until finally, I had to concede that this really was just a huge stash of fish liver paste. But then, underneath the floor tiles, where the fish liver paste was stacked, I found a secret compartment with this torn-off research report lying inside.
So it was him who wanted to frame Ryuji all along. What a nasty piece of...
Let's review the whole case from the top. First, Takatsukasa Isamu, for whatever reason, noticed Shiroyama's talent as a forensic doctor and asked him to develop a special poison on his behalf. But Shiroyama was already working for the Kujo clan, so he refused. Takatsukasa Isamu wasn't about to take no for an answer, and that's where things took a dark turn. He twisted Shiroyama's arm by making a veiled threat to harm his family. When Takayuki learned what was happening, he instructed Shiroyama to pretend to cooperate with Takatsukasa Isamu, then kill the latter with the white powder once it was fully developed. Meanwhile, Ryuji's only role in this case was to deliver the fish liver paste to Takatsukasa Isamu on Shiroyama's orders, completely unaware of the fact that he was being used as a pawn and that this was a key ingredient needed to create the poison. After the incident, Kujo Takayuki hoped to make Ryuji the fall guy, until the death sentence was stalled when it reached Madame Kujo's. In the meantime, Sango had begun her own investigation. Kujo Takayuki grew nervous that the truth would get out, so he threw Shiroyama to the wolves, hounding him to death and erasing all traces of contact between the two. And yet, he wanted to keep this secret formula, so he hid it. Greedy guy, that Takayuki.
This Kujo Takayuki is an evil lunatic! We've got to report this to A. Whatever his current punishment is, it needs to be 10 times worse!
That would be practically impossible. One research log found in his warehouse doesn't prove anything. Even I can think of 100 excuses. Besides, Ryuji directly contributed to Takatsukasa Isamu's death by delivering the fish liver paste to him. The fact that he was unaware of the true nature of the situation doesn't matter.
But he's still innocent, right? Isn't it just a coincidence? Paimon really doesn't get how the law works.
Legally speaking, the judge would most likely rule that it was accidental. But in practice, Ryuji may still have to end up shouldering some responsibility.
So basically, you've been hiding the truth all this time to protect Ryuji.
Mental trauma doesn't heal as easily as physical wounds. My biggest worry is that Ryuji would struggle to cope if he knew the truth. He's like an innocent child. He freely gives his trust and his love to everyone that treats him well. That's why he thought of Takatsukasa Isamu as a father figure. I'm pretty sure that to this day, he has never paused to wonder whether Takatsukasa Isamu was actually a good person, or if Sango just hired him as a gopher.
Here.
Hey, Traveler! You're back already.
We'd love to.
No matter what you were able to find, it's all in the past and won't ever change. So I think we'd better chow down first. Besides, if Song—
Come on, Ryuji, pipe down. Let's hear the Traveler's conclusion.
Don't worry, just tell us your
But how? How could this be?
So, that's what really happened?
Ryuji, I know it's hard to accept, but...
Wait a minute. Sorry, I have quite the stomach ache. Sango, can I take the day off?
Sure, of course. Take the week if you need it.
Oh, Paimon hopes Ryuji will be okay.
I didn't expect things to turn out like...
Just give him some time to himself. I think he'll eventually come to accept it.
I'm still a little worried, though. What if he doesn't come to work tomorrow?
Then we'll go to him. Don't you worry about that, Sango. You need some time to process all of this, too.
I'm at a loss for words right now. Please, just leave me be. Ah, you're here. Don't worry, Ryuji came earlier this morning. I guess he can handle a lot more than I had thought. I was honestly worried he'd suffer a breakdown. But as of today, it seems he'll be fine. He went over to Natsuke Nogen Crafts to buy something.
Let's go find him then. Shall we?
Before you go, Heizou, I kind of understand now what you meant when you left.
Oh, really? I'm happy to hear you say that. All right, time to find Ryuji.
Wait, aren't you going to say Ryuji? Huh. Now that I think about it, it's like a slap in the face. He said, some things will always be more important than the truth.
No time to lose.
Look! There's Ryuji! With a little kid, too! Is he buying our toys? Uncle Ryuji, was my daddy handsome? I've never seen what he looked like.
Of course. Takatsukasa Isamu was a very handsome man. Also, it's not uncle. Call me brother.
But you look so old.
Well, I'm still your brother.
Huh? How come?
Because he treated me like a son.
Huh? Who are you guys?
We're friends with your big brother Ryuji, and with your father, too.
Oh, really? Yay! I've met loads of my daddy's friends today. Can you tell me some stories about him? I really want to hear them.
Sure. Why, I know enough stories about your old man that if I started talking now, you'd be all grown up before I finished them.
Wow, that's amazing! Well, I don't want to grow up too soon then. Maybe when I'm 100. No, 200 years old. No, 300 years old. Yep, I'm gonna wait until I'm 300 years old before I become a grown-up. So
My store is offering the latest in fashion. Come and have a look.
Heizou, what are you doing here, you little brat? Oh, and the Traveler, too. So, I assume you're here to see Lady Yae?
Hey, come on, cuz. Maybe I'm just here to see you.
Don't play your little games with me. If the Traveler isn't looking for Lady Yae, then you must be here looking for Etsu, right?
You still know me best, cuz.
Please wait here. I'll go get her.
so we're not here to see Miko? Bummer.
I'm flattered, but even if I wanted to, do you really think I could convince Lady Yae to join a little event like mine?
Get the Traveler to ask her next time. She can do it.
Well, hello, Detective Heizou. It's been so long since you last came to see me. You know, it's cruel to keep a girl waiting.
Hey, community service isn't all bad, is it? I'm sure it's better than prison, at least.
That's right. I was careless and found myself caught up in a case of fraud. Detective Heizou arrested me, and I was sentenced to prison.
For the record, I'm not the one who technically arrested you.
Oh, come now, Detective Heizou. Don't pretend like you don't remember the part you played. You have a cold heart, Detective. How would those Doshin have nabbed me if you hadn't provided evidence of my involvement and whereabouts, They were so bland and functional. Not like you, Detective. When you took me down, you knew exactly what you were doing.
So, how did you end up here at the shrine?
I'm here doing community service, of course. After all the information Detective Heizou managed to squeeze out of me, he promised to help secure a reduced sentence from the court. But in the end, they hardly reduced my sentence at all. Even after serving a lengthy prison term, I am still required to perform community service. I have to spend the entire day sweeping leaves or wiping floors. Just look at what the work has done to my soft and delicate hands. So, don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth.
I helped you get community service because you were credited with assisting the investigation. But if you find it too exhausting, I can always send you back to prison again.
Oh, come on, Detective Heizou. Now you're just toying with me.
Don't give me that. Listen, I'd like to invite you to the anti-fraud event I mentioned last time. It's tomorrow night, and you'll be a VIP guest. Let's see. Appearing in the event would be equivalent to, 5 days of community service? How does that sound?
Only 5 days? That's hardly anything.
5 days not enough? Okay. How about 4 days?
Hey! That's a day less than what you just promised me, Detective Heizou.
Oh, my mistake. 3 days.
All right, I'll go. Just stop playing with my heart. And may I ask, will they also be coming as a guest tomorrow night?
How about that, kiddo? My little Prince of Mischief's got some moves, huh? Guess that means your Onikabuto is now my Onikabuto.
Ito! What are you up to?
Huh? Oh, Paimon, my compadre. This is a nice surprise. What brings you out this way? What? No, it's not. No, it's nothing like that. They let me look after their Onikabuto just for a little while for safekeeping, and then, once they've gotten stronger, they can come and take him right back.
You win some, you lose some.
That's right, my little guy. Good attitude. All right, see you around.
There's just no helping this guy.
Heizou Talks Fraud. I am your eponymous host, Heizou. Okay, I'm delighted to have you all here today to explore the topic of fraud. To help everyone avoid becoming the victim of scam artists themselves, we thought we'd invite several VIPs with a lot of experience in this area to perform a little play with an anti-fraud message. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Miss Etsu, Mr. Iba, and the venerable gentleman, Mr. Arataki Ito. Without further ado, let the show begin. It was just another bright sunny day when a distressed Miss Etsu brought her elderly grandpa, Iba, into the police station to report a crime. There, they were greeted by a kindly Doshin, surname Arataki.
Doshin Arataki, please help us! My poor grandpa has been defrauded!
Doshin Arataki? You talking to me?
Perhaps for want of familiarity with the script, a confused look creeps over Doshin Arataki's face, and he asks himself that age-old question. Who am I?
Yes, you are Doshin Arataki! You're Doshin Arataki!
Oh, so I'm in the play. Right, yeah. Okay, got it. I'm a Doshin, of course. Ma'am, can you tell who it was that defrauded your grandfather? Rest assured, the Tenryou Commission and I are here to bring them to justice.
I don't know. It was too late when I found out. They took all of my grandpa's money, and all they left was this note.
Doshin Arataki frowns as he realizes this is more complicated than he thought. He takes the note in his hand and reads it out loud.
I am the Raiden Shogun. I am currently being held hostage by the Crux fleet and urgently need 200,000 mora to secure my release. Please place the ransom mora on the north coast of the deserted island. When all of this is over, I will promote you to General of the Tenryou Commission.
It's the almighty Shogun. We cannot let Her Excellency come to harm.
But this is a scam, surely. I mean, 200,000 mora? Kinda lowballing it for the Electro Archon, don't you think? Shouldn't it be like, 300,000 at the very least?
Well, I sure thought so, but Grandpa's already parted with the money.
Well, then we gotta get it back. Is there still time?
Before I could go out to look for it, Grandpa received another note.
Doshin Arataki takes the note and reads it out loud.
I am Miss Hina. I am currently raising funds to publish a photo book. I urgently need 300,000 mora for publishing fees. In return for your support, you will receive a limited edition signed photograph.
It's Miss Hina. We can't leave poor Miss Hina in a tight spot.
You're right, Gramps. Is 300,000 mora enough? I can spare some too if we need to make up the difference. Maybe I can get a photo of Miss Hina too. We gotta help Miss Hina out here.
It's a scam, Doshin Arataki! Snap out of it!
Oh, right, yeah, because if Miss Hina needed funds, she'd come to me first, as her #1 fan. Why would she go asking this old geezer for help? These con artists don't know who they're up against.
Well, anyway, not long after Grandpa handed over the money, he received yet another note.
Doshin Arataki grabs the note and reads it aloud.
I am Arataki Ito. I was recently framed for a crime I totally did not commit, and now I'm stuck here in prison. I am in urgent need of 500,000 mora as bail. In return for your help getting me out, I will bring the whole gang over to thank you personally at your house.
Must be a scammer, surely. I've never heard of this person, and they're asking me for 500,000 mora.
Wait a minute. This is a scam. I'm Arataki Ito.
You are? But your name tag said...
Doshin Arataki follows Miss Etsu's gaze to the name tag emblazoned on his chest, which reads, Arataki Shmito.
What kind of whack job script is this? Am I me or ain't I?
So, the bail money?
Nope, no way, not a chance. Arataki Ito would never ask innocent people for mora in order to post bail. Whoever wrote this is a liar and a cheat, and we gotta get out there and get...
But just as Doshin Arataki is being overcome with righteous indignation, the sound of Miss Etsu's weeping brings his attention back to her.
Miss Etsu, don't you worry. We're gonna catch the people who did this.
Even if you do catch them, how are we ever going to get Grandpa's money back? Oh, whatever are we going to do about all those Onikabuto?
Onikabuto? Wait, what was that about the,
Oh, well, Grandpa is a major Onikabuto breeder in our village. His are the biggest and strongest Onikabuto around. We recently received an order that was too big for our current capacity. We were planning to expand Grandpa's facilities, but then we were swindled out of all of our money. Right after we'd signed the contract, too. If we don't deliver these Onikabuto on time, Grandpa will have to pay huge damages. Oh, what are we going to do?
Man, what's that saying? It's like, it never rains, but it snowballs.
Etsu, my dear, don't worry. I'll sell the house if I have to. We'll find a way through.
But then where will we stay? Please help us, Doshin Arataki. All we need is the 500,000 mora that was taken from us. Can you help us raise it? Or maybe you could lend it to us? Grandpa's business is going very well. We just need help getting over this hurdle. Doshin Arataki, please. If you lend us the money, I'm sure I can make it up to you by...
I won't hear of it. As a public servant, I would never dream of taking advantage of a person in need.
I was going to say, by giving you part ownership of the Onikabuto farm.
Oh, so that's what you were, yeah. It's not as enticing an offer as I was... wait, on Onikabuto farm, how many Onikabuto did you say you have? Because if it's more than, say, 10...
10,000.
What? 10,000? Well, that's more Onikabuto than I've seen in my whole life.
Please help us. As long as we get through this, those 10,000 Onikabuto are yours to keep.
10,000 Onikabuto? Hey, if I looked after them, they'd have little baby Onikabuto. And then the little baby Onikabuto would grow up and have little baby Onikabuto of their own.
Doshin Arataki is struck by a sudden wave of pure elation. His face breaks into a big, beaming smile. But what does he do next?
Miss Etsu, don't you worry. I'm gonna help you out. But 10,000 is too many. I can only accept 1,000. Wait, no, what am I saying? 500 Onikabuto. As a Doshin of the Tenryou Commission, it is my duty to serve. How could I abuse my position to take advantage of you?
That's great news, Master Arataki. What a wonderful person you are. So strong and handsome and committed to doing the right thing. It's rare to find these days.
Yep, that's me. All right, there's just one final question that needs answering.
What question is that?
The question is... Where's my mora? Huh. Yo, Heizou, my hombre, question for you. What's my character's salary in the script? Oh, also, any inheritance or other lump sums I should know about? Basically, can I afford this 500,000 mora? I mean,
Faced with a damsel in distress, Doshin Arataki fights to remain level-headed and asks that other age-old question. Where's my mora? Suddenly, he feels a strange compulsion to slide his hand into his pocket where, it turns out, a bank check has been quietly nestled all along. He draws the check out and inspects it. Today is payday, and this is his salary. The amount? 500,000 mora.
Whoa, check it out! A check for 500,000 mora! Where'd you come from, buddy? Misetsu, get this. Turns out I just got paid 500,000 mora today. Well, here's your mora.
Thank you so much. Master Arataki, what's wrong?
Doshin Arataki stretches out his hand. But wait! Just as he is about to hand over the check to Miss Etsu, he hesitates, tightly pinching one end of the check betwixt his two fingers. All he needs to do now is release the check, and it will fall into Miss Etsu's eager hands. But let go of the check he does not.
Master Arataki, let go!
Wait. Something's not right.
Doshin Arataki is having second thoughts. Has something caught his attention? Has it aroused his suspicion? Has he finally realized the truth?
So, this is an anti-fraud show, right?
Huh?
A spark of intuition bursts to life in Doshin Arataki's mind.
Since this is an anti-fraud event, I have a question.
Is he about to ask the most critical question of all?
I gotta ask.
This is it. Here it comes.
Does a Doshin really get paid this much? 500,000 mora. Enough to get an Electro Archon out from a hostage situation, then go pay for Miss Hina's publishing costs. You telling me the average Doshin can do all that on one pay packet? I don't know, seems pretty fishy to me. Hey, compadre, what do you think? Am I being scammed here?
Heizou! Ito's cheating! He asked for help!
As the spark of intuition flickers and threatens to fade, Doshin Arataki clutches around in desperation. Traveler, are you going to help this poor man out of his predicament?
Follow my heart. All right, then. There's no way a Doshin makes 500,000 mora in a single pay packet. Two innocent victims, Miss Etsu and Mr. Iba, come to a Doshin for help. And the Doshin, whips out a 500,000 mora check? Yeah, likely story. There's only one possible explanation. Who's got two horns and carries around a fake checkbook? Yep, this guy. With this fake check for 500,000 mora, I almost swindled Etsu and Iba out of 10,000 Onikabuto, the last thing these poor folks needed after the recent string of catastrophes they faced. My mind is blown. Craziest plot twist I ever heard. The criminal was the main character all along. Miss Etsu, I'm afraid I can't let myself give you this fake check. But I will do everything in my power to raise 500,000 genuine mora for you. So don't you worry.
What the?
Oh, jeez.
In the end, Doshin Arataki listened to the voice of his heart and narrowly avoided being defrauded in his own unconventional way. But regrettably, he failed to ask the critical question. Who in their right mind would give away Onikabuto for free? I ask you all, is there such a thing as free Onikabuto? Free mora? Or does nothing in life come for free? Thank you all for watching Heizou Talks Fraud. Don't get greedy and you won't be needy. Stay alert and you won't get hurt. You never know where scammers may lurk. See you all next time.